Section 1. The Stoic Foundation. Why disrespect is a test of power. Disrespect is a strange thing. It can shatter weak men, but for the strong, it's fuel. Marcus Aurelius understood that when someone disrespects you, they're not just challenging your words, they're challenging your essence, your self-control, your emotional discipline, your ability to stand tall without losing your ground. The average man reacts to disrespect with rage, panic, or desperate attempts to regain favor. He shouts, he argues, he tries to prove himself, but Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome and the philosopher king of the Stoics, saw it differently. He knew that a man's true power is never tested in moments of ease. It is revealed when he is insulted, provoked, or belittled. Disrespect, to Marcus, was not a threat. It was an invitation to demonstrate who you truly are without lowering yourself to the level of those who try to tear you down. Here's the dark psychology behind it. When people disrespect you, they're often seeking one thing: your reaction. They want to see if they can shake you. They want to know if their words or actions can pull you out of balance. Because if they can, they own you. If they can trigger you, they control you. Marcus Aurelius turned this on its head. His philosophy was clear: choose not to be harmed. And you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been. To him, disrespect only works if you accept it. Like a gift, if you refuse to pick it up, it never becomes yours. But don't mistake this for weakness. The Stoic answer to disrespect isn't passive submission. It's not about allowing others to walk all over you. It's about responding with such silent strength, with such unshakable composure, that those who disrespect you are left unsettled, confused, and ultimately regretful. In today's world, where disrespect is constant, whether from friends, strangers, co-workers, or even online, Marcus Aurelius's wisdom becomes more valuable than ever. He gives us 10 moves, silent but powerful, that don't just protect your dignity, they command respect in return. And these moves are not about revenge. They are not about petty ego. They are about something far deeper: building a presence so unshakable that no insult can cut through it. In this video, we'll go through these 10 moves one by one. They are ancient in origin, but timeless in power. Each one will show you how to face disrespect in a way that elevates you, disarms your enemies, and forces the world to treat you differently. The first move begins with silence, but it doesn't end there. Section 2. The power of silent composure. There is nothing more unsettling to a person who disrespects you than your silence. Most people expect fireworks. They expect anger, shouting, or an emotional breakdown. But when you meet disrespect with calm silence, you steal their victory before it begins. Marcus Aurelius mastered this. He understood that words are cheap, but composure is priceless. In the face of insult, he didn't bark back. He didn't try to prove his worth to the unworthy. He held himself with an unmovable stillness that said more than any argument ever could. Here's why this works, and why it's deeply rooted in dark psychology. People feed off reactions. When they disrespect you, they're baiting you into a trap. They want you to lose your calm, to spiral into emotion. The moment you raise your voice or plead your case, you're no longer in control. They are but. Silence flips the script. Silence is unnerving. Silence forces the other person to sit with their own behavior. They can't feed off your anger because you've given them nothing to feed on. Instead, they are left with the weight of their own disrespect, bouncing off the walls of their mind. This is not passive, it's powerful. Think of a lion. A lion doesn't roar at every barking dog. It simply looks unbothered because it knows what it is. That is the energy of Stoic silence. And here's the hidden truth. Silence doesn't just protect your dignity in the moment, it magnifies your presence. It shows others that you're not easily rattled. It communicates strength without aggression. It's the kind of composure that makes people whisper later, "You can't shake that man." This is the first practical move when facing disrespect. Do not react immediately. Do not jump into defense, do not argue, do not explain. Simply pause. Hold your silence with strength. Look them in the eyes or look past them entirely. Your calmness will be louder than any insult they throw. But silence alone is only the beginning. The Stoics teach us that silence must be paired with something greater, the ability to respond with wisdom and precision only when necessary. Marcus Aurelius didn't stay silent forever. He chose his words carefully, using them like arrows instead of scattered stones. And that brings us to the next move, knowing when and how to speak in a way that reclaims control without losing dignity. Section 3. The calculated response. Words that disarm. If silence is your shield, then the calculated response is your sword. Marcus Aurelius believed in restraint, but he also understood the weight of well-chosen words. When disrespect crosses a certain threshold, silence alone may not be enough. Sometimes you must respond, but never in anger, never in haste. The average person reacts impulsively. Someone insults them, and they fire back with double the venom. It feels satisfying for a moment, but in the long run, it makes them look weak. They've fallen into the emotional trap. They've shown they can be easily manipulated. A Stoic never allows this. Instead, he responds with precision. His words are few, but they cut deep. Imagine this. A colleague mocks you in front of others, expecting you to lash out. Instead, you pause, look at them calmly, and respond with a single, sharp line. Interesting that you see it that way. Or noted, you don't argue, you don't defend. You acknowledge without validating, and suddenly the insult has nowhere to go. The aggressor is left fumbling, robbed of the reaction they craved. This is the art of verbal judo, redirecting energy without absorbing it. You make the other person look small by showing that their attempt to belittle you didn't even dent your armor. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." That means your response should always elevate you, not drag you into the mud. If they come at you with poison, you respond with clarity. If they come at you with heat, you respond with ice. And here's where dark psychology plays in. When you remain calm but respond with sharp restraint, people around you begin to see the contrast. They see the aggressor losing composure while you remain in control. Social dynamics shift. Respect tilts in your favor because others admire the one who keeps their cool under fire. So, the Stoic move here is simple. Speak only when silence won't do. And when you speak, keep it short, calm, and impossible to argue with. Because when you master calculated responses, you gain a superpower. You end conflicts before they even begin. Section 4. The Stoic withdrawal. Walking away with power. There is a certain kind of power that comes not from standing your ground, not from arguing, not from proving your worth, but from walking away. This is the Stoic withdrawal. Marcus Aurelius knew that many battles are traps. They are designed to lure you in, to make you waste your energy on people unworthy of it. He wrote, "You always own the option of having no opinion. There is never any need to get worked up or to trouble your soul about things you can't control. Walking away is often seen as weakness, but in truth, when done with calm authority, it is one of the strongest moves you can make, because it communicates a message far louder than words. Your disrespect is beneath me." Think about it. Predators thrive on attention. When someone disrespects you, they want to see you crack. They want to see you flinch, argue, or fight back. But when you turn away, you rob them of oxygen. Their attempt at power collapses because you refuse to play the game. Walking away is not running away. It is not cowardice. It is choosing dignity over chaos. It is signaling that your presence is valuable and you will not waste it where it is not respected. This move also leverages a psychological principle: scarcity. The moment you withdraw, you create distance, and distance breeds desire, or at the very least, regret. People don't realize the value of your presence until it is gone. By walking away, you force them to confront their own pettiness, their own loss. And here's where the success strategy ties in. When you walk away from disrespect, you redirect that energy into growth. Instead of wasting hours or days stewing over someone's words, you use that time to sharpen your mind, build your skills, and advance your goals. You refuse to let another person's negativity hijack your destiny. Marcus Aurelius practiced this constantly. He knew that most insults say more about the insulter than the insulted. So he simply walked away, both physically and mentally, returning to his higher purpose. So the fourth Stoic move when faced with disrespect is this: withdraw with power and without explanation. Leave them with their chaos while you rise above. Because sometimes the greatest statement of strength is not to fight, but to walk away and make them realize what they lost. Section 5. The mirror effect. Reflecting their behavior. One of the most devastating. Stoic moves against disrespect is not retaliation, not silence, not withdrawal, but reflection. The mirror effect. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." But there's another layer hidden in this wisdom. By showing people their own behavior reflected back at them, you strip away the illusions they hide behind. Here's how it works. When someone disrespects you, most people expect anger, retaliation, or weakness. What they don't expect is to see themselves, their pettiness, their cruelty, their insecurity, revealed right in front of them. The Stoic does not insult back. Instead, he mirrors. If someone mocks you with sarcasm, you respond with a calm tone that exposes the childishness of their words. If someone belittles you in front of others, you turn their energy back on them by asking a simple, disarming question. What do you gain by saying that? You don't fight them on their level. You force them to see their own reflection. And when people see their ugliness without a mask, it unsettles them far more than any insult could. This tactic is rooted in dark psychology. People hate being exposed. They thrive when they can control the narrative, when they can project strength at your expense. But when you reflect their behavior calmly, rationally, without emotion, you hold up a mirror they cannot escape. It creates discomfort. It forces them to confront the fact that their disrespect says more about them than about you. This strategy also ties to leadership and success. Think of great leaders who face slander, criticism, or attacks. They did not sink into the mud to wrestle. They rose above, often by turning the attack into a reflection of the attacker's own weakness. And the crowd always noticed. The one who maintains composure always wins respect in the long run. The mirror effect is not about humiliation. It is about revelation. You are not seeking to destroy the other person. You are forcing them to destroy themselves by revealing what they truly are. So the fifth Stoic move when disrespected is this: become the mirror. Show them themselves. Let their own words, their own actions, their own weakness undo them. Because nothing pierces deeper than a person forced to face their own reflection. Section 6. Strategic indifference, the power of not caring. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Few things display this power more clearly than strategic indifference. What does this mean? It means you choose what affects you. You decide which arrows penetrate your armor and which ones bounce off without leaving a mark. When a woman disrespects you, whether through dismissive comments, mockery, or attempts to provoke jealousy, the common response is to either lash out or chase validation. Both are traps, both signal weakness. The Stoic, however, rises above by making a conscious choice. This does not deserve my energy. But here's where the power lies. You don't just ignore disrespect passively, you weaponize your indifference. Your lack of reaction becomes a mirror of strength. Because in psychology, the one who reacts less always holds more control. Think about it. If someone disrespects you and you argue, yell, or plead, they own you. They moved you. But if you remain unmoved, calm, even slightly amused, the power shifts. Suddenly the disrespect is no longer a weapon. It's a confession of their own insecurity. Strategic indifference is not about apathy. It's about signaling to the world that you value yourself too much to be shaken by petty behavior. You are not cold. You are unbothered. You are not weak. You are untouchable. In relationships, this principle is devastatingly effective. Many people test boundaries through disrespect just to see if they can control you. If you pass the test, by not caring, by showing that your peace is not for sale, they realize that disrespect is not a weapon they can use against you. This approach is also deeply Stoic in its essence. For the Stoics, external events are neutral. The insult has no power. The only power lies in your interpretation. And if you refuse to give it meaning, it dies in silence. Marcus Aurelius said, "If someone despises me, that is their concern. My concern is not to do or say anything deserving of contempt. That is strategic indifference. You don't just avoid reacting. You prove that you were never touched to begin with. And in that moment, the one who tried to belittle you feels smaller than ever. So the sixth Stoic move when disrespected is this: become indifferent on purpose. Show that their disrespect is irrelevant, meaningless, powerless against the fortress of your mind. Because the greatest punishment you can give a person who seeks to shake you is to let them know they simply don't matter enough to succeed. Section 7. The withdrawal of presence, making absence louder than words. Marcus Aurelius believed in the quiet power of withdrawal. He once wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." And one of the most devastating ways to apply this wisdom is through the calculated removal of your presence. You see, many people take your presence for granted. They assume you will always be there, always listening, always available. And because of this assumption, they feel bold enough to disrespect you. They believe their words or actions come without consequence. But when you withdraw, when you stop showing up, stop engaging, stop being accessible, your absence speaks louder than any argument you could ever make. This is not ghosting. This is not manipulation. This is strategy. It is teaching through silence. You're saying, if my presence is undervalued, then you will learn its worth only when it is gone. Psychologically, humans crave what they lose. What is rare, what is absent, what suddenly disappears, becomes more valuable in the mind. This is why absence has always been a tool of power. Kings, leaders, and wise men have long used their scarcity to command greater respect. When a woman disrespects you, often she expects you to chase, to explain yourself, to prove your worth. But the Stoic refuses. Instead, he steps back. He gives her silence. He lets her feel what life is like without his presence. This withdrawal is not a tantrum. It is not running away. It is discipline. It is saying, I will not invest my time, my energy, or my presence where I am not honored. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If you stay around those who mock, belittle, or dismiss you, their disrespect begins to stain your spirit. But when you withdraw, you protect your inner world. You preserve your dignity. And here's the paradox. Absence forces reflection. When you are no longer there, The other person is left with their own thoughts. They replay their words. They question their actions. They start to wonder, did I push too far? Did I just lose something valuable? In that silence, the respect you were denied often grows back stronger than ever. So the seventh Stoic move when disrespected is this: make absence your answer. Withdraw your presence, and let the void you leave behind teach the lesson that words never could. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. Section 8. Mastering the pause. Delay before you respond. In moments of disrespect, the natural impulse is immediate reaction. The sting of insult, the burn of mockery, the humiliation of being undermined, these emotions demand release. Most people lash out, shout, argue, or defend themselves, and in doing so, they hand over their power. Marcus Aurelius taught the opposite. He wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment." The pause is that moment of power. When you pause, even for a few seconds, you break the chain reaction of anger. You stop the other person from controlling your behavior. Instead of giving them satisfaction, you leave them in uncertainty. Think of it like a chess game. The opponent makes a bold move, expecting you to respond instantly, but you lean back, you study the board, you breathe. Suddenly, the pressure shifts. They begin to second-guess their move. They wonder what's going on in your head. Silence and stillness become weapons. In psychology, this is called tactical delay. It is a way of reclaiming authority over the moment. The person who can wait, who can observe, who can withhold reaction, controls the outcome. Marcus Aurelius embodied this. He was emperor of Rome, surrounded by betrayal, insults, and political games. Yet his writings reveal a man who mastered the pause, who considered before acting, who refused to be rushed into foolishness. And here is the hidden brilliance. When you delay, the other person often exposes themselves further. They reveal their insecurity, their weakness, their lack of control. You learn more about them than they learn about you. The pause is not silence forever. It is silence now, so you can respond with clarity later. It is not passivity, but calculation. It transforms your reaction from emotional impulse into a deliberate, controlled move. So when a woman disrespects you, or anyone for that matter, resist the instinct to fire back immediately. Instead, pause, let the silence hang, let the tension build. And then, when you finally choose to respond, your words and actions will carry the weight of a man who is unshaken. Because the pause is proof of strength. And strength commands respect. Section 9. Living example. Dignity as silent revenge. There is no revenge more devastating than living well. When someone disrespects you, they often hope to diminish you, to see you stumble, break, or lash out. They want you dragged down into the mud with them. But Marcus Aurelius understood a timeless truth. The greatest answer to insult is unwavering dignity. He wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." This means when others sink into cruelty, you rise with composure. When others try to provoke, you remain unprovoked. When others act small, you demonstrate greatness. Dignity is not loud. It doesn't shout, doesn't curse, doesn't demand recognition. Dignity is a quiet force. It's in the way you walk away from pettiness, the way you carry yourself with calm, the way you refuse to let disrespect stain your character. Dark psychology teaches that when you do not react to humiliation, the aggressor feels it even more deeply. They expected victory. They expected you to break. But when you remain solid, when you live above their level, they are left with the sour taste of their own failure. It's not about pretending you weren't hurt. It's about transmuting the hurt into fuel. You channel it into discipline, into growth, into achievements so visible that those who tried to disrespect you now regret ever doubting you. Your very life becomes the statement. Every accomplishment, every improvement, every quiet act of strength is proof that they never had the power they believed. Imagine someone trying to drag you into an argument, but instead of answering, you remain composed. Weeks later, while they're still stagnant in bitterness, you've built something. Your body, your career, your mindset, your relationships. That is silent revenge. Respect cannot be demanded with words. It must be earned through presence. And the man who moves with dignity, even in the face of insult, leaves behind an impression far stronger than one who explodes in anger. When a woman disrespects you, when anyone disrespects you, let your answer be the life you live. A life so disciplined, so steady, so powerful that their words shrink into nothing against the immensity of your actions. Because the truth is this: people forget insults, but they never forget the dignity of a man who refused to be broken. Section 10. The Stoic command of respect. Marcus Aurelius's final lesson. Marcus Aurelius never needed to raise his voice. He never needed to strike with cruelty. He commanded respect not because he demanded it, but because he embodied it. He understood a principle that still applies to your life today. Respect is not something you chase, it is something you attract. By who you are. When disrespected, the weak lash out. They scramble to defend their pride with noise and aggression. But the Stoic man knows that pride built on reaction is fragile. Real strength lies in restraint. Marcus wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. This means the insult has no power. Only your interpretation of it can hurt you. Change your perspective and the wound disappears. The Stoic move is not to destroy your enemy. It is to render their attempts meaningless. When you remain unmoved, when you choose calm over chaos, when you live with discipline and principle, you rob them of their victory. And here's the paradox. When you stop needing respect, when you stop chasing validation, when you stop reacting to every attempt at insult, that is when you gain the deepest respect of all. Dark psychology confirms this truth. Humans are drawn to the unshakable. They cannot manipulate the grounded. They admire and even fear the man who does not bend to words or games. So remember, in this, every disrespect is a test of your self-control, your philosophy, your character. Pass the test and you rise above. Fail it, and you fall to their level. Marcus Aurelius' answer to disrespect was simple yet eternal. Live so steadily, so powerfully, so unshakably that no insult can move you and no enemy can define you. Respect will come, not from demanding it, but from embodying it. And those who once disrespected you will be left with regret, not because you punished them, but because they see the greatness they could not diminish. That brings us to the end. If this resonated with you, take a moment to like this video, to support the message. Leave a comment below with your own original motivational quote. I want to read and be inspired by your words. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss the next Stoic lesson that could reshape your life.